Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this new episode of CX Pancha episode in cooperation with European Customer Experience Organization, which I remember is an European-based organization to promote inclusion and diversity in customer experience. So it's very similar to the philosophy of this video blog. Here we are talking about pure punch nature related to customer experience. We want to promote individual freedom and anti-establishment view in the customer experience world. So we both, the European Customer Experience Organization and this video blog, we both believe that there is not a single truth in customer experience. So we are really open to include, different opinion in order to promote diversity and give food of thought to our brains in order to build a better framework for customer experience. The format is one-to-one. It means one guest, two questions for one challenging customer management topic. Our guest today is Tue Søttrup. I hope I pronounce your name in the proper way. And welcome to this video blog.
Thank you.
Tue is a CX evangelist, and I like this title because it's the first time I meet and I see this title at Dixa. Dixa is a software company that provides SaaS software related to support, customer care. Correct? Tue?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and this is a founder member of the European Customer Experience Organization. So, Tue, tell us how you become passionate about customer experience.
I've been working with customer service as an agent, as a manager for about 20 years. So it's always something that I've spent a lot of time on. And I've very quickly realized the value of creating a good experience for customers. And I've been fortunate enough to join a company that is actually working on a tool helping brands create better experiences with their customers. And it's really important for me to be able to have influence on how those experiences are designed so we can basically make the world a better place one conversation at a time.
Great, great. The topic we want to cover, because I remember it's one-to-one, so one guest, two questions for a challenging topic. And I think is a very, very interesting topic because usually when we think about customer experience, we tend to think to some, let's call it soft skills we can offer to our clients, but Tue as a different role and a different vision on how to deliver a very good customer experience. So it's more related how you can embed the customer experience into the products in a way that the product itself basically deliver the customer experience. Did I say correctly, Tue, or do you have a different opinion?
Yeah, we're close enough. And I agree. We call it product-led customer success because it's not just about the product. Mm-hmm. It means that you guide the customer through the changes they need to achieve to achieve the value they seek. And part of it is, of course, how they use the product. Part of it is actually not, but it is how you use the product to guide the customer to success.
And what do you do, in practice? Because if I well understood, first of all, the first question is only related on onboarding of the customers, or also, in product management area. So how do you divide your work? Mainly in onboarding and managing the onboarding customer journey, or you are always also involved in designing the product itself?
Both of it, I would have to say. There's a lot of work that goes into the onboarding process because the better start the agents and the managers get within the tool, the more successful they are with it. So having a really good foundation. But the product-led customer success is very much post-sales. So it is a combination of tracking how the agents are using the tool, how the managers are setting it up, but then even more importantly, it is also observing in remote sessions how the tool is actually being used, because that gives insights into opportunities, also challenges within the product. So here we can discover what it is they need to be able to do to solve their issues within the tool. What are the friction points? We can help the agents optimize their workflow. We can look at what integrations are possible to pull in information into the tool. And we can also take feedback from those sessions and put back into the product, so remove the friction. We're very much focusing on having happy agents, because happy agents create happy customers.
Yeah.
And we ensure that we remove friction, we add functionality that makes it easier, so the agents can focus on creating a good experience for their customers. They are actually spending a lot of time digging through different sheets to find responses, using multiple tabs or tools across the different channels, going to backend systems to find order information. They are jumping around a lot, and that means that they're not present. So we want to keep them in the moment and spend their time and energy on helping the customers and creating good experiences.
Very interesting. What portion do you think? And this is a quite interesting question, because there is always this big discussion about user experience and customer experience, and where is the border between the two words, and how these two disciplines compensate each other's or exclude each other's. What is your vision about that?
I think they are very much tied together. So when I reach out to a brand and I need help, I want to get through quickly. I want the person on the other end to know who I am, know about my previous interaction, so I don't have to repeat myself. I want them to be empathic to my situation, and I want to have my issue resolved as quickly as possible. So that's from the user experience. If we look at the agent experience, then they need that information within the tool so they can provide that level of service. So having an overview across all the different channels. Why did this customer contact us before, and what was it about? Who did they speak to? Who is the customer? How much money have they spent? What was their last order? What's the status of it? And then lastly, how do I solve the issue that this customer has? So if we can provide that information, then we again remove the friction that a lot of agents have and give them the tools that they need so they can focus on solving the customer's issue in a very quick and efficient way. So they tie very well together.
Okay, very interesting. You mentioned, you want basically to give a very good experience to the agent in a way that this agent deliver a good experience to the customer. So at the end of the day, your work, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to observe both entities. So in a way that you can understand how the agent influenced how the user experience of the agents, and then the customer experience, let's put it in this way, influence in a positive manner the customer experience. Correct?
Absolutely correct. And on the back of COVID-19 and the global pandemic,
okay,
we've also seen a shift where a lot of brands are focusing more on retention than on customer acquisition, because customer acquisition is really expensive. But if you can retain and grow your customers, you actually have a really good business case. So we see a lot of brands investing in these CX initiatives that create a better experience for their customers, meaning that they can retain and grow them more. And that is really beneficial in the long run. The experience that you get when you interact with a brand is very, very important now. It's a competitive advantage if you have your issue resolved with as little friction as possible.
Perfect. And then basically, do you use a specific methodology or a framework, to go through your work, or is something that you created by yourself?
Some of it, I think, is based on the industry best practices, like tracking events that is happening within the SaaS tool, so you can understand what features are being used. But I think the observation session or agent enablement sessions where we spend time with the agents, because that also shows us what happens outside the tool. I think that is quite unique. And based on this, we can actually prepare a report that we can present back to the organization and say, these are our recommendations for how you can get more value out of the tool. Maybe we added new features that they are unaware of. Maybe there are tools that they are using that could be integrated to our platform and tying those things together. And then we can also see, okay, all these agents are having this issue within our tool, or having this problem, or are requiring this kind of functionality because it would solve this problem. Then we can go back to product and advocate for having that functionality developed. But we also try to not look at the functionality or the feature that we need to add, but what problem that feature is solving. And then it would be up to our product engineering team to find the right solution for it. But we can identify certain common denominators when we do these observations sessions. And what I think is interesting here is that this approach is something that could be applied by all companies. It could also even be done by people who are selling cars. You can go sit next to a driver and observe them, and then you can come with a recommendation for how they can be better at driving the car, or how the manufacturer can create a better car the next time. So there's a lot of things that can be done by actually spending time with the customer and then optimizing the way they work in their workflow, and also optimizing the product.
Interesting. Do you use some specific KPIs to measure this, or is something that is more qualitative than quantitative?
We do have an in-app survey where we ask our customers. Dixa makes it easy for me to help customers, and then how much they agree with that statement. And that gives us a parameter or a value. And our goal is to improve that value. Okay. And we know that if we have agents that feel it is easy to use the tool, if we can improve that level, then we will get happier agents, and they will result in happier customers. So in that sense, it's a really important metric for our organization, because a lot of the agents, they're working 8 hours inside the tool every single day. And if they are unhappy or they don't find it easy to do what they need to do, then we need to do something about it. And they will also tell us in comments what could make it easier for them to use the tool. And those comments are really valuable, because when we do it, we can see more than half of the comments we get are about training and how to use the tool. And the rest is something that can go back to product to improve the product in itself. But a lot of it is actually the onboarding, training, and the usage of the tool. So that actually gives us a lot of leverage to identify how we can become better at getting our users up to speed. And this is not something that is limited to our product. I think it can be applied to all SaaS products out there.
Sure. And not just the SaaS products, but at the end, every product. But do you agree that at the end of the day, you use a kind of customer effort score connected to your agents to understand, because you were talking about making easy for them to use the tool and also to serve the customer. So it's a kind of, if you want, and if you allow me, is a kind of customer effort score, correct?
Yes, it could like be an agent effort score, but very closely related to that, yes.
Yeah. No, very cool. Then I wanted also to ask you, what is your involvement with the European Customer Experience Organization? Can you tell us a couple of words also about that?
Yes, I'm fortunate enough to be one of the founding members of this really great European community that is gathering and including a lot of different viewpoints within the European customer experience space. So we are exchanging different ideas. We are sharing our knowledge, setting up webinars, podcasts, different events. Hope to be able to do something in the physical world in the near future when the situation allows. But it's about challenging each other and sharing our best practice and knowledge within this industry. There is a lot of competition in the European market, and countries are doing things in a different way, and we can learn a lot from each other. So the European CX organization is a really good community to be part of if you work within this space.
Okay. Thank you very much to be, our guest today. I want also to say something about the European Customer Experience Organization, because the nice words that you said can be basically proof, if I can say that, visiting the website, the European Customer Experience Organization, which is ecxo.org. And I want also to remember that the starting membership is absolutely free. So you can go and register yourself, be part of this community. As you have heard from Tue, is a community where we can exchange best practices around Europe, and not only Europe, because we have also people coming, from different continents. But what is important, in my opinion, is to remember, if we share best practice, if we accept the view of the others, we can all grow, in the customer experience world. And there is not a single truth in the customer experience world. We need to accept, and we need to include, everything that basically can improve our understanding of customer experience. So please go and visit ecxo.org. Tue, thanks a lot, to be our guest today here at the at the CX Punchat. It was really a very good discussion. I think this concept of the agent effort score is important, and we tend to always think about customer experience, about our final customers. You do it in indirect way, if you allow me, but a very effective way, because you are a kind of man in the middle, and you need to manage the final customer experience, managing also the agent experience. Very, very interesting. Thanks a lot too. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember the next episode will be soon, and I want once again to thank you to Søttrup for his participation. Is basically the end of the episode, and I hope to see you soon in the next episode. Thanks a lot, and bye.